Good morning, beautiful people. It's Expediting Land. Your host, Danny here. This segment is very important. Solos and teams, it doesn't matter. Empty move negotiation. Newcomers, please listen. This can make a difference between sitting 3 days or 1 day. Alright? Whether your team heading out west coast or your solo staying in the freight lane. Straight up. Empty move negotiation. Learn how to empty move negotiation. That's what all these other videos. Learning your carrier's customer base is important. Learning how to reposition your truck is important. What I mean by this, when you get that juicy load across the Qualcomm and it takes you out of the freight lane area, you've got the loaded pay, you agreed on the deadhead pay extra. Sometimes it's equivalent to the load miles pay. You want to bring up empty move negotiation at the end of the conversation, on the phone, whichever. You're talking to dispatch. Some companies don't offer it, but most do. When you get that load, takes you out of the freight lane, say 300 to 500 miles down south, and you've got to get back up north in the freight lane. You go out west to California, you're way out of the freight lane. You want to make sure that they will offer and can pay you empty move pay as well, the loaded and the deadhead. Okay? Empty move negotiation. That is very important, because as soon as you unload, doesn't matter what Expedite vehicle you're in, but it does matter, more critical if you're in a regulated straight Class A to Class B vehicle and you're regulating your time clock. You need to make sure and be aware of where you are unloading and you have been given empty move pay. As soon as you unload, you look at the area that you're in. Okay? Usually, dispatch will already have the empty move offer pay for you that goes to a specific city, whether it's 300 to 500 miles up north, south, east, or west. Okay? You've got to learn empty move negotiation as well as all the other skills. This is why I started this channel, guys, for newcomers. These things are not, they're covered briefly in orientation, but very quick and to the point. All right? This empty move negotiation is very important. It can make a difference between you sitting 3 days or a day in most cases during the busy season. Empty move negotiation is critical. When you get unloaded, make sure you got the empty move approved and get to that location that you agreed upon with dispatch. Okay? To get ready for your next load offer and position yourself. Empty move negotiation is very, very important. There's a lot of new people that come in, excuse me, and don't remember that, because here's what happens. If you get a 60-40 split, 60% on your side, you're paying for your fuel, you have to pay, obviously, for the empty move and use more fuel. Okay? When you get the empty move negotiation, now I'm not going to say the cents per mile, because it varies with each different carrier differently. It just does. Okay? Empty move and deadhead pay. Most companies have empty move available to negotiate. Some don't. Some don't. And that's the negative, you know. But positive notes is learning all these skills. If you scroll through my video content, the first steps, do your owner's research. Okay? Learn your customer carrier's base. Learn what expediting is about. How to negotiate load offers on empty move negotiation terms. This is important. If you get that 1,000-mile run and it takes you way out of the freight lane, you need an empty move to get back into that area. You don't want to do it for free. It'll cost you fuel if you're paying for your fuel on the 60% side. And vice versa. Even though you're getting the 40% and the owner's paying for fuel, he's going to look at that as a business decision you made as the driver and the operator of that straight truck or semi or van. Okay? Empty move negotiation is very important. Teams or solos. Okay? Solos in the freight lane. Central, East Coast, things of that nature. No further south of Atlanta, you're out of the freight lane. No further northeast of Pennsylvania. No further west of St. Louis, Missouri, and down south to Memphis. That is considered the freight lane for solos. West for teams, you go to California, you're still going to have to empty move, especially if you're unloading in Seattle, Oregon, and the states on the West Coast. You still have to make an empty move to get ready for your next load offer. Get on the board. Position yourself. Keep rolling, newcomers. Newcomers, this is important. Empty move negotiation. Just remember that, okay, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to remember that. Again, there's a difference between sitting 1 day and 3 days in most cases. In most cases. All right? So when you sit here and, like I said, see that 1,000-mile run, it's juicy. And, you're like, man, we can't turn this down, straight up. But it takes you out of the freight lane with your solo or teams. You have to remember to ask for an empty move and negotiate with them on the empty move pay. It helps out tremendously. Okay? I just wanted to bring that up. I see it's not covered that much, and I wanted to continue to cover things newcomers need to learn to be successful. All right? An empty move negotiation is one of them. Very critical. Especially if you've got a deadhead out west, say 600 miles up to Chicago in an airport. You got to pick up freight there. It's an emergency. They have no other vehicle to cover that load but you. Ask for empty move pay. All right? Empty move as soon as you unload. All right? When you're off for the load, you're clear, consignee signed off on it. Look around to see where you're at. All right? I'm going to have some other video vlogs. I'm going to post a map to show you the solo freight lane. And when they take a load out of that area, and remember empty move negotiation and teams out west too. This is newcomer information. You veteran drivers know what you're doing, okay? I think it's very important to have an empty move negotiation at the end of that conversation with that dispatch. It's very important. Because this business, as you learn it, it's not a steady time schedule. It just isn't. On the average, load offers come in from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The second round's from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. In most cases, not all, but in most cases, that's the general rule. All right? So if you have enough time when you unload to make that empty move and reposition yourself, you need to highly consider it. All right? You just need to understand that. It's a little chilly and windy. I was going to make some more videos outside, add to the scenery background, but all the truck engines going on, little distractions, so I guess I'll continue to do it in here until I find just wanted to add scenery in there or whatever. But empty move negotiation, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Empty move negotiations. Again, orientation covers all these things, but very briefly and fast. Okay? So as you're out here learning the field, you're getting load offers, you're making money, you're rolling, and you haven't experienced a load that takes you out of the freight lane, empty move negotiations are very important. Whether you're an owner-op, subcontractor, company driver, driving for a private owner, it doesn't matter. Okay? Empty move negotiations are very important. Alright, guys? I want to sign off here. Hopefully everybody is going to do good this year, which I think they will. Freight's picking up. It's March now. Freight is picking up. I see it. But at the same token, there is some still slow spots. Okay? So you just want to keep that in mind. Empty move negotiation is important. Learning your customer's base is important. That carrier's customer base is important. Alright? Learning how to position yourself is important. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Danny of Expediting Land signing off. Stay focused, alert, and positive. I wish the best for everyone out there. This is Danny of Expediting Land signing off. See ya!